Are you done primping?
Well, I guess. Got the flyaways today.
Well, I could get you a hat, my other hat.
I'll just take yours.
No, because then they'll see my bald head. Well, hello everybody. Bill and Deb here.
Hi.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day today. Absolutely
It is
beautiful today.
beautiful.
This is
no wind, beautiful
Yeah.
blue sky.
Yeah.
High 50s, low 60s.
I'd say low 60s.
I mean, I had to put my jacket back on
Yeah.
since we're in the shade.
Well, it's because of the angle of the sun, but this is the reason why we came to Florida.
but this is it.
Yeah, right here.
This is what we've
Yeah.
been looking for.
And if all goes well here in the next couple of days, we'll be putting our kayaks in the Ichetuckney
Springs.
at Ichetuckney Springs State Park. That's what I should say. I do believe they refer to that particular river as the Crystalline River.
I don't know, maybe.
Well, I'm sure I'll get corrected if I'm wrong. But we are planning on kayaking down the river there from the north entrance of Ichetuckney Springs State Park in Florida.
Yes, it's supposed to be 70 degrees and
thereabouts,
sunny.
right. So we'll take some cameras along, and hopefully we'll get some shots of some manatees. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, we today what we decided to do, I was just looking at the calendar, and I kind of quickly figured it up. And today marks day 690 since we started full timing in our trailer.
690 days.
690. Wow.
24/7 with you.
Well, it's been 24/7 with you too.
Aren't you lucky?
Yes, I am. That's what I'm supposed to say, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I am lucky. Yeah, I'm a very fortunate dude. But anyway, here's what we thought we would do. Over the course of the videos that we've put out in that length of time, we've had several different questions that folks have asked.
Well, not just on our videos. It's also fellow campers
Oh, yeah.
that we
Yeah.
visit with out here in Campground World
Mm-hmm.
that have asked us similar questions. And
In fact, we just had a lady, she was walking through the campground here and stopped to visit, and we got to meet her, a really, really nice lady. So she wanted to see the trailers. Of course, when we do that often, we opened up the door so she could see the trailer, and then she was asking us lots of questions about it. And the one question that she asked, and we'll just start with that one.
okay.
How's that?
That's fine.
If you were to build it over, what would you change? What is one thing that you would do, or more, what would you change? And our number one answer was
Taller doors.
taller doors.
Not for me, but for too tall here.
because I've left a lot of DNA behind, at the tops of the doors. So that is first and foremost. If we were to ever have another trailer spec built to build out on the inside, the first thing on the list would be taller doors.
And straight axles.
And straight axles, of course. And that's the next thing, and we may end up going ahead and swapping over to straight axles on this trailer here eventually.
Seriously considering it,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. Which is, here again, I wish I would have done that when I first got the trailer, Which brings us to the next subject, I would say. We have a lot of folks, we did a video here a while back about how we level our trailer and raise it up. And some folks couldn't quite grasp the reason why we did that. We had one commenter, quite honestly, that was just a little rude about it.
But we have reasons.
But we have reasons, and all I can think of is this particular person did not watch the video all the way through, because we explained that in the video. So let's start from scratch here on this, the reason why we raise the trailer the way that we do. Cargo trailers, for the most part, come standard with a 4-inch drop axle. And because they come with 4-inch drop axles, they only have roughly, when they're sitting on the ground, when all four wheels are on the ground, we only have roughly about anywhere between 10 to 12 inches of clearance. Okay?
You're the woodpecker.
Yeah, there's a woodpecker. In fact, I see him right up there. Yeah. But we only have, 10 to 12 inches of clearance. Now, what we use to catch our gray water is auxiliary gray water tanks. We have 2 regular RV style sewer dumps on our trailer, one at the kitchen and one at the bathroom. Okay. The one at the kitchen is a 10-gallon that we use, and it's an auxiliary one. You know, it sits outside the trailer, and we come out from the regular RV style dump, and we actually connect it to the tank, and it drains directly into that tank. The one at the front, which also has the shower, we use a 22-gallon there, and it, of course, the shower drains directly into it, as well as the liquid portion of our dry toilet setup, and we'll go ahead and talk about that for a little bit here in just a second. But the liquid portion of the dry toilet setup also drains into that particular tank. Now, the one at the front, the one at the back, the 10-gallon, it's not that tall. It's only about that tall. So it's not that big of a deal as far as making everything drain properly. The one at the front, the tank itself is roughly about 10.5 inches tall. Well, by the time you get the fittings on it, you know, if you use a 90-degree fitting coming out or whatever you use, you're going to end up losing anywhere from 2 to 6 inches, depending on what kind of fitting you use, you know, there. So all of a sudden, that 10, 11 inch tall tank becomes anywhere from 14 to 16 or 18, you know, inches tall. So we don't have the clearance for that to drain properly. And that's another reason why I wanted to go with straight axles, you know,
Right.
where I should have went with straight axles. That's what I should say. That would have made it a little bit easier. So yeah, we raise our tanks to make sure.
Raise our trailer, not our tanks.
No, we don't raise our tanks.
We raise the trailer.
We raise the trailer in order to,
Get adequate drainage.
yeah, so we can have adequate drainage. And folks, I've been taking a shower before when it didn't drain properly, and it ain't nice. We don't like it.
No.
You know, we don't like taking a shower and it not draining right. So that's the reason why we raise it the way that we do. Now, we have worked at it to get it down to a science where we can do it really fast. Even if we're raising as much as 6 inches, we've got it figured out now that we can do it within 20 minutes from the time we pull in and figure out exactly how we want to park on our pad. It takes us another 20 minutes to get it to the height we want and to get it level. It's that fast. So it's not a difficult process at all, you know.
No.
And it's real simple. But that's why we raise the trailer, is for that reason. Now, if we end up swapping out for straight axles, that'll give us an extra 4 inches. And that could make that could
make a huge
made
difference.
a huge difference on a lot of situations like that. So, okay, when we've had a lot of people ask about our toilet, and we've never really talked about the toilet.
No, we have not.
No, there's strong opinions about dry toilets or dry toilet setups or composting and things like that. Our toilet setup is a dry toilet setup. And what we used is the kit called the Privy 500 kit. And now you can get the kit itself for a little over $100
At Amazon.
on Amazon. Yeah,
We ordered
And-
ours straight from the company.
right, and we paid like $150 for
Yeah.
it originally. It has worked wonderfully for us. Now, we do separate the liquid portion where it drains directly, like I say, directly into our gray water tank, so we don't have to mess with a separate liquid container,
No.
you know. And what we use for media in ours is the pine pellets. They call it horse bedding, and you can get it, and we get it at Tractor Supply, is what we use. And we found that it works for us. It works better than anything else we've ever tried. We literally have zero odor issues
Well, I
with
even
it.
use it in
In the kitty-
Delilah's litter box.
Right.
Because, of smell. You don't want a litter box smell in your house.
Yeah.
And there's no smell.
No.
Of course, we change it. I change it.
Yeah. She changes out the litter box often. Yeah, and we
twice
change
a
out
week, maybe.
we change out the other fairly often because we don't want to, have it really loaded up, and we mix all of the rest of our trash with it as well. But anyway, that is our setup, okay? And but we literally have no odor issues. This stuff is highly, highly, highly absorbent, and it not immediately, but it really, really gets after drawing the moisture out of the waste.
Of the deposits.
Of the of the deposits. And I have literally had folks given tours of our trailer within 15 minutes after
We've used it.
Well, after I've used it,
Yeah, that's
you know. And no,
and people are shocked when
They're
we
shocked.
say,
They-
"You have a cat?"
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, here's two things. One thing that we found, since we're not using it as far as we're concerned on our part of the bathroom, we're not using the stuff to absorb the liquid portion, and it's going straight into the auxiliary tanks. We found that we can actually, when we pour this stuff into our little composting bin that we have in a special compartment in the bathroom area, we found that we can add like a cup of water to that, and it will expand, and it goes a lot further, and it actually does a better job of covering what you need to do. We experimented with that with Delilah the cat, and it didn't work so well because she does both in her litter box. And it did not, because it had already absorbed some liquid there with the water, it didn't do very well absorbing the liquid that she leaves behind. Okay,
Right.
How else do I
That
say
sounded
this?
good.
Oh, good. Okay. So we found with using it as kitty litter for Delilah, we use just the straight pellets. And you can get these pellets in a 40-pound bag. It's called horse bedding. It's at Tractor Supply. It's made out of pine. You can get it right now. It's running around $6 and something a bag for
Depends on
that.
where we buy it.
Right, depends on
Where
you
we're
know,
at.
what state we're in.
Right.
It has varied $1 per bag from some states to another, but still, it works beautifully for us. It's been awesome, and we have no issues.
So much better than a black
Yeah.
tank.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
can't even imagine.
Yeah, but anyway, that's what it is. So
There we are.
here we are.
Okay, another question we get.
Okay.
Do you still have a house?
No.
No, we don't have a house.
No.
We moved out of our house 690 days ago.
Yeah. Yep.
We
Yep.
had the trailer on the driveway. We moved out of the house into the trailer.
Well, we had a garage sale before that.
Well, yeah, the garage sale was quite a bit before that because, timing. But literally, we do not have a house. Are we sorry we gave up our house?
No.
Another question. No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely
We're not. The only time we're sorry is company, but we have all outdoors for company.
Yep.
Inclement weather, if it's really nasty and bad, if it's just the two of us, it's no big deal. We go in and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Do we miss the maintenance and upkeep and yard work? And no.
Don't miss that at all. Not at all.
Okay. How is Delilah dealing with being on the road? Delilah does very, very well. She rides in her carrier in the van when we move from place to place. At first, she cried quite a bit. Now, once she's in the carrier and the van is engine started, she settles right down. Never hear a peep out of her. In fact, one day Bill said, "Is she in there?" Because she's totally quiet. She just, until we get to where we're going, and then she wants out.
Sure.
But by then, I can put her in the trailer,
Yeah.
and we're all happy.
Yeah.
She's-
We do try to. We need to clarify something right
Okay.
quick. We do try to. We limit our moves from one campground to the other around the 3 to 3.5 hour mark.
Try
We-
to never do more than
Yeah.
that.
And we have made a few runs before where we had 6 hours.
Yes.
And when we're pulling for 6 hours, we do pull over roughly halfway or so for a little bit, and we let her get out and stretch her legs, go ahead and give her some water and things like that.
Right.
And then she's ready to get back in her carrier and go on with the trip.
Right.
So we do try to limit it, like I say, to around 3.5 hours. We've had on occasion where our time from one campground to the next was
and
around 4 hours.
We don't
Yeah.
like to go more than 4.
No, we try to
I'll
we
try to
do
very
that.
much not do that.
Yeah, but Delilah does real well with that, and then once we get all set up in the trailer, everything, she takes over and she's the boss. Right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about the one thing that we got more grief about during our build and afterwards than anything else.
The bed?
The bed. The bed.
Has the bed been an issue since it's across the middle?
No,
No.
absolutely not.
We had a lot of people say it should be a Murphy bed, it should be a couch that makes into a bed. Number one, I could not have had the storage under the bed because that's where our freshwater holding tank is. That's where our battery bank is. It's extra storage. Our extra shoes are in a container under the bed. Delilah hides out under the bed sometimes. She's discovered a special spot.
We need to clarify something about that too here.
Okay.
You know, we do have the battery bank under the bed, but knowing that Delilah would get away from us
Oh,
and get
yeah.
underneath the bed, we did not leave that open where she could get to that section. We actually put sheets of plywood down the petition, and we did drill holes through it so
1
air could
inch.
circulate, 1-inch holes
She
in
can't
that.
get through a 1-inch hole.
But we do have it set up where she can't get into stuff that could cause her harm.
right.
Okay, so
yeah,
now
we pre-thought about
yeah,
that.
yeah. So
But has it been a hassle? No, it has not been a hassle to have the bed exactly the way it is. The bed is a very comfortable place to sleep, lounge, watch TV. In a trailer of this size, I would do the exact same design again.
Yep, yep. Think about it, folks. We have been full-timing in this thing now for 690 days straight. We have spent 690 days and nights in this trailer. If we had a Murphy bed,
It wouldn't have held up.
if we had a Murphy bed,
Sorry.
we would have erased it up and down by now 690 times.
Or not.
And the answer truly is no, we would have not, because we would have ended up leaving it down as a bed, because when we are ready to come in and settle down on the bed, we are ready to come in and settle down
Not make the bed up.
on the bed and not have to make it up, unmake it, make it up, unmake it, make it
No.
up, on 690 times.
It would not have happened.
Now, if we built this just to use as a weekend getaway, or in the occasional 2-week getaway,
That might be a different story.
that might have been a different story. For one thing, we wouldn't have went with a 50-gallon freshwater tank. We would have went with one that is smaller and would fit on one side of the trailer or the other. Okay. But the way it is now, where the tank is, and we planned it this way, the tank sits right over the axle center line, and the tank is like 60-some inches long, almost 25 inches wide, and it's like 9 inches high. So it's long and flat and sets low, which is a good thing too, and it's exactly right over the axle center line is where it is. And there was a reason to put the tank there. Okay.
Right.
And it had to do with the other things that we were putting in the front of the trailer and the back of the trailer, and we still wanted to try to maintain the proper fore and aft balance to end up with the proper tongue weight so that the trailer would tow properly. When the trailer is hooked up to the van, the whole rig handles better than the van does by itself, quite honestly. And I can literally be going down the interstate 70 miles an hour with a crosswind. I can pull up behind an 18-wheeler, and I can still, with them buffeting, I can still take my hand off the steering wheel and she tracks straight down the road.
It's my house.
That irritates Deb. And I don't do that all the time, but it's just to prove a point that we really worked hard to try to get the fore and aft balance just right on the trailer, and everything has worked out well. And she tracks just fine going down the road. I feel very confident when we're going down the road, especially where we're in heavy traffic. There was a time when I would have avoided Memphis, Tennessee like crazy, and this last time we just right through Memphis, traffic and all. I'm still not sure if I want to go through Atlanta or Birmingham, especially during, the high traffic times, but maybe someday we'll find out. Maybe so. Well, there's one more thing we need to talk about.
Okay.
Why don't we have solar?
Oh, that question.
Why don't we have solar? We're set up so we can add solar. The real reason why we didn't do solar when we built the trailer is a real simple reason. Money. You know?
Solar's not cheap.
Yeah. Well, we just didn't have the money. Didn't matter. You know, someone will come in and say, well, for $1,500 you can do this or do that.
Yeah,
we didn't have the $1,500.
For $10
you know?
a night I can plug in.
Yeah. Now, it is set up so solar can be added
Yes.
relatively easily.
So
to it.
that's on the bucket list.
Yeah, it's on the list.
It's on the list.
But, you know, until things start doing better for us financially, you know, if our channel gets big enough and we can be like some of the big YouTubers where the solar companies say, hey, let's give you this solar system so you can do a feature on it, you know.
That would be a different story.
Yeah.
We're not against solar.
But, you know, but we're not the big YouTubers where, you know, they get the $20,000 setups, you know, for free.
We're just
you know,
Bill and Deb.
or, you know, so maybe if we reach 200,000 subscribers, we could have that kind of setup. But no, the main thing is the funds. The next thing is, and we have mentioned this many times, we are wired for 50 amp service. We are total electric in the trailer. And of course, if we went with solar and a decent enough inverter and things like that, we could, you know, go 3 or 4 nights without a whole lot of issues. But we are fairly reasonably certain that unless if we had a huge solar system and a huge battery bank, we would not be able to have hot water to take a shower.
Or
you know,
air conditioner.
or you know, be able to run our air conditioner. And here we go again. Why didn't we go with a mini split?
Well,
And here again, money. You know, we bought this 13.5 BTU air conditioner on top for just a little over $500. You know, and we had the scrounge to come up with that kind of money for that. We're not rich anyway, but we're set up where we can do solar. But the campgrounds that we stay at, because we stay mostly at Corps of Engineer campgrounds, and we have the senior pass, which gives us a 50% discount, we average $10 to $12 a night, and that's to be able to plug in, you know, and not have to worry about whether we've got enough power to do this, not have to worry about, well, can we run this or whatever. And the solar thing is on the list, so we can do the boondocking and things like that later, and we can go out maybe to the desert and things like that, but it's just not right now.
Nope.
But it's coming.
Someday.
So that's why we don't have solar. I do have a solar inlet on the side of the trailer here where I can plug in suitcase solar. And we may experiment with that at first because, quite honestly, we like trees. And the reason why we like trees is because we want to park in the shade, okay? So that's why we don't have solar for right now. It doesn't mean that it's not going to be there. It's just not going to happen right now. All right, I think that's about it.
okay.
Yeah.
That pretty well, those are our main questions that we have ran into.
Yeah. By the way, this park we're at right here is absolutely gorgeous, and they gave us a monthly rate, and we're going to be here for a while, you know, making day trips like we
And
mentioned
we will
before.
be doing a review of this campground.
Oh yeah, and it's going to come highly recommended from us.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
But anyway, we're going to let you go for now. This is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures, and we always say this because it's true. We're not camping.
No, we're living.
Exactly. Y'all take care. Bye-bye now.